Welcome everybody to BMI's webinar on Zoho Desk. My name is Jason. I'll be your MC, the host for today. Before we dive in any further, give me a couple of thumbs up or reactions. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Make sure that you can see my screen, the mastering the desk. Everything looking good. Perfect. All right. So a little bit of housekeeping for anybody who's joining us for the first time here. On the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to see that there's a little chat bubble with a question mark in it. That will open up the chat, the FAQs, and the question modules. If you have any questions throughout, we've got 3 members of our team here who will be able to answer questions live. So feel free to throw any questions in there and we'll field those. There's also an FAQ at the end where we'll be answering questions live as well if you want to hang around for that. So our topic for today revolves around Zoho Desk and some of the processes and features within it. Before diving into the technical elements, contextually framing Desk in its place in any business, I think is kind of the important step and kind of my expertise in this. So communication in the modern world, it's become increasingly digital. It's text-based as well. Email, texting, chats, IMs. This offers great efficiency in terms of the asynchronous communication, the ability to speak without having to coordinate. You don't have to set up meeting times, phone calls. You know, there's always that aspect of, am I going to catch them while they're available to chat or not? Versus a ping or a click or a text that can just sit. And so Zoho Desk serves to help solve some of these problems. The adoption of the asynchronous text-based means of communication comes with a downfall, though. Comes with volume. Because it is so easy to send a message and leave it pending for the recipient, you can send more than you might otherwise do. Every business now needs to keep on top of all of their inbound communications from prospective leads, current clients, maybe it's order requests, maybe it's support tickets for technical, maybe it's customer inquiries, and so much more. Multiply that by having an online presence that makes every company potentially national or even international. You have the potential for an inbox to get wildly out of hand. Enter, of course, the need for a tool to facilitate communication in an efficient, streamlined way. And enter Zoho Desk. Zoho Desk, born originally from the need for a customer service and customer support teams to assist clients with technical questions, i.e. Zoho themselves assisting their clients, the app has grown into a way to manage several types of customer communication, not just strictly speaking technical inquiries or requests. By setting up your Zoho Desk properly, which is what our expert Zach will be getting you started with and talking about today, you can make sure that your inbound inquiries are all fielded properly, nothing is missed, and no matter who it is from, who it was sent to, or what the topic is, you've got the proper system to be able to handle it eloquently, efficiently, and effectively. After all, one of the biggest elements of value, if you've not seen our video from Michael on the 4 constituents of value, that a customer can derive from your business is an excellent customer experience and a uniform customer experience at that. Streamlined communication, and therefore Zoho Desk, is at the heart of that experience. Today, what you'll be learning, as you can see on the slide, a couple of sneak previews for you. Keep an eye out for managing portal users, adding a self-service Answerbot, customizing the Help Center, structuring the knowledge base, and integrating community and tickets together for a seamless support experience. These are some of the slides that you might see just so that you can get a little bit of a teaser. Managing self-service bots, Help Center, structuring the knowledge base, and what's next. The slide deck will be available for those of you who are in attendance today, and those of you visiting us from YouTube. Of course, I invite you to pause and review those slides as you can. That way you can read as fast or as slow as you want. Don't forget to stick around for our Q&A at the end. Without further ado, let's turn it over to our Director of Customer Service, Zach. Zach, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, so as I steal the screen share here, I'm gonna just give me some thumbs up if you can see. You should be able to see welcome to BMI Demo Help Center, just to make sure that everything's working technically here. Perfect. Thanks so much, guys. So thanks so much, Jason, for that introduction. Yes, I am Director of Customer Service here at BMI. I've been working in desk for, I would say, the better part of 3 years now. And yeah, I just wanted to show you a couple things. First, I'm going to start with what a help center could look like. This is just a demo use case for the end user. So this would be for your clients, or if it's not for your clients, maybe you've got an open help center, maybe it's a subdomain, maybe a support tab on your main website, whatever it is. So basically what I wanted to show here is you can see some branding. There's some branding, you got some modules, knowledge base, community, tickets. You're trying to create a unified 24/7 portal to bring everything together here, like Jason's talking about. 24/7, so that you don't have, your customer service doesn't have, you could open up the hours essentially for support that you want to bring to your customers. So I'll walk through a couple of the modules here. This one-stop shop here, you've got tickets. Oh, actually, I'm going to talk about sign in and how you can, just a little bit of user management here. So I've actually got a few options here. I could sign in, I could create a new login for myself, but I've also enabled signing in with my own Zoho account. So I'm actually going to use that. I'm signed in my Zoho account in my browser, so it's very seamless. But if you're doing it for the first time, people will be prompted with, hey, do you want to connect your Zoho account with this website? Yes, and then it can be a seamless experience from there. So now I'm in the tickets module, which is actually my area. This is where you can actually see all the tickets that you've submitted. And I've got a couple here. I can see they're both in open status. They were submitted a day ago. No responses yet. I can also view, change some filters here based off of priority, channel. If I actually working in more than one account, this could be a use case if you're working for, maybe you're in a broken company, not broken companies, but sister companies or something like that, and you've got to manage for different accounts that you have. The other thing is you can also enable, I could see if I change to team tickets, I can actually see the tickets that everybody in my organization has submitted as well. So you can see that the view changed. I've got another ticket here. I didn't think of anything creative. It's just test ticket for this one, but you can see it's submitted by somebody else. It does say anonymous, so I don't know who it was, but I can actually go in and I could see, oh, did somebody else create a ticket? If I'm waiting for a response, I could go into the help center and I could say, hey, I'm looking for my colleague, I'm still waiting to hear from them. Maybe I can look on their behalf for their ticket, something like that. So that'd be the use case for that. I'm just going to go back to my area here. So that's tickets. You can add a ticket from here. This widget sort of stays at the bottom of every page. You can always submit a ticket. And this is just pretty straightforward stuff. It's almost like an email where you could, choose a subject. I could choose a product name if I wanted to, I'm having an issue with widget A. What's the priority? These are all different settings that you can put in your tickets module and customize it to whatever it is you need, or whatever your company needs. But it also has a little link to popular articles, because what we're trying to do is actually decrease the amount of ticket submissions, because we want to do as much ticket deflection as we can with the help center. That's really what we want to do, so that your agents are actually more efficient and more streamlined in their processes. They can focus on other things. So I'm going to go to the next area here, which is the knowledge base, which is where those articles were coming from. It's populating the articles I've chosen to be visible on the help center, broken down into a few different topics here. You can see I've just added a few on there, and then we've always got the recent articles and then the most popular articles also here at the bottom. So I could click down in here and I could look. This one has actually a couple broken images. I think this one further ones down here, they don't though. Maybe I chose the wrong article to show, but this one here, you can see that the knowledge base articles are they're almost like writer documents or Word documents. You can get images, you can add links in there. You can make them look pretty nice. You also can give people the option to download. I could download this as a PDF and I could keep it with me, so I could take it with me. I could send it as an attachment somewhere. I could print it off. There's a few UI features in here where I could just, I could remove some of the stuff, the noise on the side here. I think that's pretty much it for the knowledge base there. Like I said, it's just a way to organize things. I'm going to move on to the forums now and community, and this is where we can track announcements. I'm actually going to go into customer service, and I can see that there's a few different things that we can do here, and this is all about more public-facing things or community engagement. We can post announcements. This is just a welcome announcement here. People can reply to these announcements. They can follow them, ask questions. There is another question here. This is a cheeky question because this is a question that this is just a demo question. I don't have an update. Again, just a cheeky question for this demo. When is Zoho Payroll coming to Canada? I thought it would be funny. I know some of our clients are continually asking that. But this is where you could actually keep track of things like this. It's like features that clients are asking for, and you could other people can participate in this or follow these posts as well. I'm going to go back to the last one, which is an idea. Ideas are unique in that you can actually vote for them. So you could like the article, but you could also vote for them if somebody's saying, hey, you know, it would be really great if you guys could do. And if you want that sort of public feedback as well, you could start seeing how the community is voting for these features, and it might inform whether or not you want to implement them or not. And then the last piece of this, I'm actually just going to reload because I'm supposed to. There it is. So down at the bottom here, I've got what's called an ASAP widget, and I'm going to talk about ASAP in a little bit here, but it's actually a portable help center. So you've got the whole web UI for it, but you could just you could actually embed this ASAP little widget here on your main page if you wanted to, and have this portable help center with you. So you could see there's all the same modules in here. There's the knowledge base. I've actually got a list of my tickets already there. I could submit a ticket from there, could go to the community forums. And then the last but definitely not least is the Answerbot. And the Answerbot is essentially an AI bot that's learned everything in your help center that can act as an agent on an agent's behalf. Again, helping with ticket deflection as well. So, for example, I could say how to set up Zoho Vault. It's going to think about it for a second. It's going to start scrolling the help center, and it's actually going to give me an answer here to get started with Zoho Vault. And I can look and see, some of the answers that it's given me, but it's also given me an article that I could look at here as well. So within there, I can actually view the full guide, and right from that widget there, other related articles as well. I could say if it's helpful or not and share. So it's this really, it's even more of a slick and compact little portable help center. I say portable because you can just embed it on really any web page. So with that's sort of the user experience, or what the UI could look like. And let's talk about setting up then. Some of you are probably more interested in the setup. So now I'm in the Zoho account, the actual demo account that owns that help center. And a couple things I'm going to highlight here first before you really get started with the help center, because it is a culmination of quite a few tools in Zoho, just centralized in one place, is on the organization, the rebranding. You've got your logo here. This is more so for your company website, your main support website here. But you can see that I've also white labeled the domain. Otherwise, the default's going to be, companyname.zohodesk.com. So we can get some white labeling here for the actual domain, because the help center is going to be a subdomain within your main domain. So this is going to be one of the first things that you're going to want to set up before you actually open up your help center. So then I'm going to go back into settings, and under channels, it's in there as its own channel, help center. there will be a, create a new help center button. I've already got one. That's the one that we were just scrolling through right now. So I'm going to go in there, and as I do that, you can see that a lot of settings kind of open up on the left-hand side, and they're just sort of settings dedicated directly for the help center. And I'm going to try to high level go through each of them as well, just so that we understand what they mean. First of all, rebranding. This is specifically to the help center sub page and subdomain. So you can add, again, your favicon. That's where you could see up in here, in my tab there, I've got actually the favicon there. It's not the Zoho Desk favicon. Whether I want people to click on the logo, they go back to my main website. I can give a name to it as well. So some basic branding for in terms of URL branding as well. So the access settings, this is where you can, it's just simple toggles. Like this is really designed so that, it's really low code or no code to set up an entire help center here. It makes it very convenient. You've got a few toggles here where, do you want customers to have to sign up for to the help center, or do you want this just to be completely public help center for anybody to see? Do you want to moderate them, like approve who's actually signed up to reduce spam or bots? Do you want people to be able to view the tickets of everybody in their organization? So that was that toggle I showed about there's in the my area, there's my tickets or my team's tickets as well. So we could toggle it so you can't see if you need to keep. It just depends on the use case. Maybe you've got your clients are an agency, and everybody sort of needs to see their own things, and there's some privacy, whatever the use case is there in there. You've got CAPTCHAs again for anti-spam if you want for submitting tickets. If they're going to submit a ticket, do you want them to be signed in or signed up for the help center, or do you want to let just anybody? There's some security for the help center as well. And then, do you want them to be able to choose departments? I mean, the use case of departments, I think that's more organization specific. Maybe you want your support as the public facing department, but you've got service or tech or IT or something as a hidden department. Maybe you don't want people seeing those tickets, but you want IT getting those tickets so that they can see, okay, where are our work orders coming in, but you don't want to show them in the help center. So you can choose what you want to do with in terms of visibility. And then, of course, do we want to send automatic invites whenever somebody emails a ticket? We could have it set to automatically send an invite to the help center. You could turn it off and do it manually. Talk about invites in just a second here. Search preferences for the KB. Do you want it to be global across your help center? If you turn on privacy and terms, essentially it just includes URLs to terms of service and privacy policies in the help center page as well. So when it comes to invites, I'm just going to share. So there's the automatic system, which again, use your discretion on how you want to do that. But you could also do it manually. If you go into Desk in the customers module, I could just choose a couple people here, and I could add as end user. That's going to add or send the invite to the help center. And that's how I could do it manually. Or maybe I want to do it based off of a ticket that's appeared. So maybe it's someone has submitted a ticket, and I could go to their contact record. So if I click on the contact record here, not in the ticket, but in the contact record, then I look at the options on the side, and that's where I could add as an end user. And then conversely, on the other side, if somebody is already a member in the help center, I can deactivate them from this screen as well, from the ticket or the contact record level. So that's just a very quick thing about invites. Languages, of course, you can have a default language, but you can add multiple languages. I think 35 languages in the help center on there, if needed, based on your customer base. Customization, I'll park on for a second, because this is where you actually, you could see there was a few, I'm going to just show that again, actually. I don't want to go too quickly. There's a few different options. So there's only 4 right now, but you choose one of the main themes. And when you go in there, that's when you can start adding your branding in there. So you can see, you've got your brand colors in there. If you wanted to change the background image, There is, for people, I don't want to single out coders. Maybe you want to do some coding for your header and your footer on your help center as well. You can absolutely do that. Tabs, the tabs side here is which tabs do you want it to show up here. These can all be renamed as well. So you could rebrand these. Maybe you don't want it to call it My Area. Maybe you want to call it like My Hub or Your Hub or something like that. Set it as default and make it invisible or not. Turn some of these on or off. There's a lot of customization you can do. And then the last thing I'll talk about is the widgets. And the widgets is what I was talking about. If I go to actually pages and the home page there, you can see the widgets added in there are modules, recent topics, and popular articles. And so that was this. This is the modules, recent topics, and popular articles. Maybe I actually want to add announcements in there so that the first thing that people see when they log into the Help Center is the newest announcement in there as well. So you can preview what that's going to look like. And then you can actually preview it in the web UI, the tablet UI, or the mobile UI. And you can see that with it doesn't pass the mobile QC test because you can see that the logo goes just into the menu box there. So I wouldn't pass this QT test. I was the one that set it up though, so that's okay. So I'm going to close this now. That's the customization. I don't need to save any of those changes there. That was customization here. Oopsie. And I'm moving on to the user authentication. So the user authentication and then the federated login, the use cases for this would be, and this is what I was talking about with signups. If you already have a portal or a website, so this might be important for quality of life, is if you already have a website that you're asking your customers to log into, maybe it's your own website, your own portal, you can actually connect it to that so they can use their same login. They don't have to create a new login. You don't have to ask them to create yet another login and password to remember. They can just use the one that you've got for your company. And then the federated login, of course, was the example that I used where you're using a third-party software or account. They could use their Zoho. You could activate Microsoft. I mean, there's a few bigger services in there as well. So that's what the user authentication is on that aspect there. The SEO is more so just giving different search engines permission to crawl your help center and the content as well. If you wanted the community posts or your KB to show up in web searches, there's the ability, you get a marketing team in here somewhere to figure out how you want the keywords to look, what keywords you want people to be hitting in order to get there. And there's also the option to make it completely private. If you don't want a public help center as well, you can ask it to not index or follow, which is what I've done because it's the demo site and I don't need it showing up in Google searches for this, especially because it's just for this demonstration. Few of these I'll breeze by. Email templates, just to be able to customize the invites and deactivation emails. This is hand in glove with sending users the invite. This is what you can customize what that's going to look like. You can add your organization logo, maybe a little more of a personalized message or whatever you want to include in there just for the templates. What the from address is going to be. Users. This is where we can look at and manage the different users. I can also invite users from here. You need an email address. So if you have the email address handy, you can do it. I think it's easier to either do the auto invite though, or just to invite them from the contact record or mass invite from the contacts record as well. This is where you'd see your pending moderations. If people actually signed up on your help center, then that's where you're going to see this the moderations in there where you can approve the signups as well. They don't appear if you've got federated login because they've already been approved by a third party, and then same with your user authentication as well, or if you've invited them, they've technically been approved already if you've done that, in which case invited people would show up in here. So there's my user settings. I could deactivate this person or I could completely remove them as well. Or just edit some things in here. And I think it's like just their email and then what user groups and labels I want to assign to them. And I'm going to get to user groups and labels right now. you have to create them first in order to assign them. But the label is essentially, I think it's more so for forums and community. You could label some of your users like experts or, knowledge gurus, whatever label you want. If you want to sort of have a community enrichment and sort of recognize some of your users as helpful or know what they're talking about, sort of share the load of learning essentially. The user groups, it allows you to create permission sets. So if you have maybe the use case would be if you have some clients, you want them to see some aspects of your KB or a section of your KB, those users in that group can see this, but maybe another section can't see it. Maybe it's maybe there's different things, more private articles or specific how-to guides. Maybe it's different levels or tiers of customers have whatever that is, whatever is going to work. That's all the user groups is for. And then, of course, the last three here are integrations. We've got Google Analytics integration, so you can have Google Analytics KPIs from your help center. Also, Sales IQ, which is Zoho's basically live chat bot. I mean, Sales IQ it could be a whole other webinar, maybe in just different features of Sales IQ, but it's basically your live chat for Zoho Desk. Right now, it's not turned on. We don't have live chat for anybody in our demo help center, but that's how you would integrate it with Zoho Sales IQ if you also have a Sales IQ account. Same with Zoho PageSense. Again, more website KPIs and tracking, so you can view metrics on how people are actually using and interacting with your help center as well. So that's the all-encompassing part of the help center there. But like I said, it's sort of split up into different sections, which is the tickets and Answerbot and knowledge base. So I'm actually going to start with the Answerbot here. So you don't actually do it. You don't set any of those up in the help center channel. You actually have to set them up in the different sections here. So starting with Answerbot, I'm going to go down because I think that's the one that people are most keen on, the AI these days. So it's actually under Zia in settings. You can see Answerbot there. And right now I've already got one set up. Otherwise, if I didn't, you could say, hey, do you want to set up your Answerbot? And it'll take you to a screen like this. Give it a name, maybe a description if you want to. And then who do you want this to be enabled for? And this is what's really nice about the Help Center is it's not just for your end users. You can create it for your agents as well. The agents can use the Answerbot. They could use it as a resource or a tool. They could use it for a different resource or tool if you want them to be helping them with articles or information that you don't want visible to your end users. So I've got it checked off for both agents and customers can see it. I've chosen for the website, iOS and Android. There's a few other as well because Desk does connect with other third-party messenger apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, all of these things. Briefly skip generative AI because that's the most exciting part. But then you've got sort of some default messages. What do you want to see? What do you want people to see when they open up the Help Center? What message do you want to convey to them if they can't find the article that they're looking for? Some of these things like this. So generative AI, it's basically using modern AI technology. If I go into that link, the settings for it you can see is actually just right below the Answerbot in the settings under Zia. I'm just going to go over to services and just briefly sort of high level explain the differences between the two of these. Right now it's connected to Zia, and that's just the sort of it runs through Zoho's environment. So Zia is actually going to be trained on your knowledge base, your KB, maybe other things in your Zoho environment. If you have other Zoho apps connected to Zia, then it could potentially pull from that. But the biggest thing it's going to be pulling from is your KB, and then give a little bit of give it nicer and give your users nicer answers, I think, as AI does these days. Or you could connect it to ChatGPT, and that's more of the open domain. So, that's the cautionary tale with AI these days. If you want, an unmonitored AI answering questions for your customers from the open domain, or within your own instance and your own resources in your Zoho environment. So either way, very exciting stuff that you can have for Zia and your Answerbot in there. So I'll go one more thing in the Answerbot. If I actually click on here, it's showing me all of the articles in my KB that it's learned. So this is where the Answerbot gets its knowledge. So it has to be trained. It can't just be a unless you've got it connected to ChatGPT, but then you're at sort of the whim of the internet. But it has to be trained. It's just like any other agent, virtual agent or physical agent. They have to be trained in some way. This one's just more efficient. So depending on how much you have in your knowledge base, this is where you can sort of track whether it's trained on these, yet to train, if it's failed to train. And then the bot preview is just the demo showing of what it's going to look like. So you can test it out first. So that's the Answerbot there. And that's dependent then on the ASAP widget, which I'm just going to, let's see, am I going to talk about the ASAP widget right now? I think which is actually, it's another channel. I'm actually going to go back to the settings page. You can see. So you can't just like embed the Answerbot on there. It's part of this ASAP widget. And that widget is this little box down here that I was talking about. That's the embeddable widget. So I'm just going to show that in terms of ASAP, where it is there. If I go into, I think actually if I just click it. Yeah. So I've got certain things that I want clicked on in the widget. And right now you can see that I've turned the Answerbot on for web, iOS, and Android. So, you know, whatever platform specific, it actually should still work and show up. And then I've got the knowledge base, tickets, and community. So this is the portable aspect of that ASAP widget there. And then of course there's the embeddable code. So if I click that, that's the code that I would just have somebody paste on my, again, you could put it on your main page, you could put it on your support page, you could put it on both, wherever you want it to go. That's your portable help center that has your Answerbot on there. And it does have live chat as well. You could add live chat as one of the widgets. Not demoing live chat right now though. So let's go to the knowledge base, because that's the brains behind your Answerbot, and also just more articles that you can create for your customers, your end users, and also for your agents. So in this, I'm actually going to go to like manage KB first here. You can see the different access settings there. Like, do you even want your KB on your help center? Yes or no? So just some more toggles in here. Whether you want the author of articles to be displayed. Do you want people to be able to send feedback? Should they be able to do it anonymously? Do you want their email when they send the feedback? Can they comment on articles? So just a few toggles in here for your help center. If I go to organize categories, this is where you could see, I actually only had 2 of them published on the Help Center. There was customer service. Let's see if I can go back to that again. I mean, I've only got, okay, yeah, so let's just go back here. I'm going to go into the customer service department. So right now you can see that this one is active, and I've got the 4 sections: Zoho Desk, Projects, Vault, and then General, because I just didn't want to create specific ones for all of these for this demo. But this is where we can moderate the access for each thing, and you can get in sort of a module basis here. For the entire department, I can choose whether I want it to be public facing for anybody on the Help Center, specific groups, that's the user groups I was talking about. Do I want this entire section to be only accessed by certain groups, or only accessed by agents? Maybe you've got a collection of articles that are scripts for agents, or that are just internal resources only. They're not for customers. And then the custom IP is actually for registered users. So that would be the difference between public and a public one would be for anybody that can access the Help Center if you've allowed that, and then registered users specifically. So that's that. You can also choose sort of, again, more branding, naming, and then a display picture for it as well. But then I can also choose which sections. So maybe for Vault, I only want agents to be able to see that, or something in there. So there's the categories within the sections as well. You can modularize the permissions on that as well, and the visibility, and then of course all the branding and the labeling. Articles themselves, this is where you can actually just manage your some of your articles. So you can see that this is one of the articles that's in here. Oh, actually go to that for a second here. There's a couple things you can do. Again, you could also download this article as a PDF, send it to somebody. You could take it off of the Help Center, unpublish it, And then if we edit it, you can see you've got all the writing tools that you would need to create a good article, like a good help center article that's, again, got images, links, and all of these things. So a pretty broad spectrum of tools there. And then, of course, in the article level, I can choose which display permissions do I want. So this one wasn't showing up on the knowledge base because it's set to agents only, but I could change it to registered users or all users, including agents as well. So there's some, again, modulation in terms of how you can set up the KB in here. Moving on, then for that, is the community forum. So this is the forums, and it's also a tab at the top here. And this is where I could see, I'm actually going to go to the customer service one. The customer service department here, there were this is where I saw the two areas for two different departments where I want there to be forums. And that's where you could see the 3 different posts there. So that's the user end side. And then this is the agent side. So agents can also post or add a topic in here. They could pose it as a question, or they could post announcements here if they wanted to. Whatever they wanted to do, and maybe they wanted to follow it as well, and publish it or just save it as a draft, whatever they want. It's the same sort of tools for the KB, but then more in the community, and then they can track it. So I have an idea. You can see, oh, who's voted it, and then I could look at metrics on that as well. How many likes, views, who viewed it, and just some drill down information in there, so you can actually track what's happening in the forums and the posts as well. And you can also assign statuses. So when Zoho payroll coming to Canada, need more information is the status I'm going to put on that. We need to know from somebody else. We're not going to be able to answer it. However, of course, the agent could send a reply to it as well. And then, of course, you've got your metrics in there as well. I forgot to mention in the knowledge base, there is a dashboard as well. So you can look at how effective your articles were and your KB is in there, and you can choose, the last year, the last week, or whatever in there. But you've got metrics there, so you can actually track effectiveness of this, what people are looking at, what's helpful to them, and what's not helpful to them. Now, the last piece here is the sort of like, how does the agent use all of these tools? So that's where I'm going to go back into the tickets, and I'm going to go find this ticket here. Can I share passwords in Vault? So when I get to this ticket level, and this is for your agents, over on the panel here, you've got the ticket properties here, but then you've also got the Answerbot as this tab here. And this would be for if the agent's like, okay, I know this exists somewhere, or I just want, maybe I want the Answerbot to answer it for me. How to share credentials in Zoho Vault. Oh, there's my typing that everybody gets to see. So then it's just going to do the same sort of thinking. This is just on the agent end now instead of on the client end where it was showing it before. And then I've got okay, some steps here that I could just copy and paste into my reply to this person. Maybe I could actually pull up the article here, how to add and share credentials, because there's actually an article that exists. Maybe I want to actually just paste it to the ticket. So it's automatically doing it. I don't have to do the copy and paste. It's just one click, it's pasted in here. And the agent can sort of, again, rearrange, change, maybe add some context. So it's not just, just give it some, a human touch in the response as well. Or they could send a link. The other option was to send a link to the Help Center article and say, hey, yeah, great question. Actually, the steps are outlined very well in this article here. Here's a link to it. So it could be something like that. So that's the help, the Answerbot aspect, but they also have access to the KB. And it's going to use, I think this is what Zia is doing now, is it's using the keywords in that ticket to suggest articles. You could also search for an article as well. If you're like, no, that's not quite it, there's something else that they're looking for. But it's already using the sentiment analysis of the ticket for the agent to already be able to answer it. And then that's, again, where I can share the link in the ticket. That's the other use case for instead of copying and pasting the whole article or just pasting it in there. Now I can just paste the link to that article as I respond to this customer as well. So really, like, this help center, it's this is pretty much it. I mean, it's designed to really have your clients try to self-serve first. You know, try to go through the Answerbot, try to go through the KB or community before they submit a ticket. That really helps with the ticket deflection for your agents, especially if it's common questions. It really is going to improve the agency efficiency. Again, if they can have less tickets coming in, it's more manageable. Then it gives them more time to maybe start creating more articles or more posts or community engagement, something to just delight the customers in other ways. And then, of course, you've got your 24/7 virtual agent going for the self-serve portal as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if we had questions rolling in that people were answering, or maybe thumbs up if that made sense, or maybe I hand it off back to you, Jason.
Yeah, well, we've flagged a few questions along the way. One about the federated logins that you had shown, and one about a really clever one, actually, the difference between Sales IQ chatbot and the ASAP widget. That one I do want to have you answer live as sort of kicking off our FAQ. We've talked a little bit about how there's always going to be overlap. Many Zoho tools have that overlap. And we've talked a little bit about marketing versus having the kind of customer support element. But in terms of, well, where would we go one for the other? How do we decide for, you know, if I'm a brand new client, which am I setting up? Which should I go for? What are the considerations for one versus the other? I think that's the first and biggest FAQ we've got.
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. It's because it's very true. There's a lot of overlap that you see in some of these Zoho apps. So the difference, I would say, is that the ASAP widget, the widget itself is a help center. And live chat, which is the Sales IQ aspect, can be part of the help center. So the ASAP is that actual widget itself. Maybe I'll just go back to the screen here so I can, instead of showing is better than telling, isn't it? So this is the actual widget. If I click on it, I don't go right into chat. There's a few other resources as well in there. And I think you can design it so that the actual modules are at the bottom so they don't scroll as well. But you could see that ASAP has the knowledge base. It has community. It does have the Answerbot, and you could chant with the Answerbot. The Answerbot, the difference between Sales IQ and Answerbot, and I think there's another one called Guided Conversations, just to throw another one into the mix, not to create more confusion. But the Answerbot, you think about it as like it's just answering for your agents on behalf of your agents regarding your KB. So the Answerbot only has to be taught your KB. Sales IQ is the live chat that you could, if someone, you know, was like, listen, I just need a really quick answer to this. I don't want to submit a ticket. I can't find a post. I can't find the Answerbot's not helpful to me, or I'm just skipping that and I'm like, I need a really quick answer. I need to go to live chat. You would go to the live chat and it would connect to an agent. Like it would ring the agent just like it would with a phone call, and you'd have to accept it. And that would be, you could actually use that in Zoho Desk, so your agents don't have to leave Zoho Desk. Or maybe you've got agents that just live in Sales IQ and just stay on standby there. That one's a little harder to show because I have to, like, Sales IQ isn't set up in here, but it's, if you could imagine, like, just like any text message conversation you're having with somebody, then the agent's just going to be transferred to that chat to have a text message conversation. So hopefully that makes sense, that we've got live chat as part of your actual portable help center. If you could think of the ASAP as your portable help center, which could include live chat, that's where I'm going to go back to the ASAP widget here. And you can see the different modules you want to put in there. Sales IQ, I have it turned off, so it doesn't show up as a choice. I don't think I can even turn it on. Yeah, because it's actually been turned off at the department level. But if I did have it turned on, it would be an option for somebody to use. Sales IQ is a live chat that could also have predetermined pathways So that's similar to the desk. Desk has one called Guided Conversation. Maybe I'll just show that one very briefly. It's like a bot builder. So you could actually, and you could do the same thing in Sales IQ. It's sometimes with Zoho, we have to remember that it is one company, but they all have their different apps and different departments, and that's why there's some feature crossover. So the guided conversation is the exact same widget builder as Sales IQ. It just lives in Desk if you didn't have a Sales IQ account. So you don't need a Sales IQ account in order to use the sort of the live chat or bot builder. I'm not going to go into this too far because this goes a lot like beyond, like over my head, but I can start to choose like, okay, who do I want this to be? Do I want it just be for all users? To see if I can, let's go to test flow just to give it a name. I was like, I really want to show the bot building page. Okay, perfect. This is what I wanted to ultimately show is this is similar to Sales IQ and how you could use Sales IQ. You could actually have predetermined messages go before it actually transfers live to an agent. So again, it's more about that deflection. Can we add more prompts? Can we get more questions? Can we have it determined? So if somebody says, okay, I want to chat live with an agent, okay, first tell me your name, tell me your problem. What's the issue here? Other questions like this before it actually transfers live to an agent. Maybe they can get an answer really quick there because this bot actually knows where to look for it. Or maybe you can't have an answer and it'll transfer right to a live agent. If it's the off hours, I think it can also be set up to create a ticket or create an inquiry on somebody's behalf as well. So I think that's my sort of high level difference on the between the two. So hopefully that makes sense.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. We've got another question that just came in. If we have multiple knowledge bases that all live under the same desk department, are we able to limit the Answerbot training to just one knowledge base, i.e. customer facing versus internal?
So yeah, multiple KBs under a single department. The learning, I understand the question. So I think this has to do with how you've got the modulation set up in the KB. Like you've got the sections in the KB, the entire section that could be, do you want this to be viewable by the agent, or do you want it to be viewable by all users or just specific end users in the help center? So that's one way that you could use the sort of modulation. The Answerbot's just going to learn. Let me go to it actually. I'm pretty sure it learns all of your articles. I don't think you could just say only train on some of these, but what it's going to do is it's not going to give your internal knowledge base articles to external clients because they don't have the permissions to see those articles there. Conversely, again, if you have agents that don't have permission to see certain client-facing articles, they'll only be, I guess, limited to what they can see, what the Answerbot can tell them. So hopefully that makes sense. It's not necessarily in the Answerbot training. It's more so in the, I've got you can also do the settings in here. I think there was, which ones do you want it to be available for as well? So it's more so about the permissions level, I think, in the KB, if that makes sense.
Might be a better idea to set up a different KB under a different department, call it internal, and then that way you can segment it out as well. Depends on the use case, but you might want to set it up differently so that you don't even have that information accessible to the bot, even if it is trained on it and doesn't give it out. Easier to just not conflate those things.
Exactly. And you can create a different Answerbot for each department as well. So if, like Jason said, you had your KB in a different department, and maybe that department was private, so it doesn't show up on the help center, or some such degree of customization in there, something like that.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll leave open the FAQ for another minute here, just to see if any last questions come up. Otherwise, the entire webinar will be posted onto YouTube, so you can rewind, rewatch, follow along. The slide deck will be made available too, of course, for the participants after this. I think you can already download it, or if not, it'll be included in the email sent out after the fact. And of course, if you've got suggestions, recommendations, ideas, or other topics that you would like us to cover, please don't be shy in letting us know, either comments on the YouTube video itself or directly letting us know, letting either our sales team know, our service team know, or otherwise any of our team members know. We're happy to cover the different topics as you guys are so inclined. With that, though, I think we will call it here. Thank you very much for all of the attendance. Thank you very much, Zach, for running us through Desk. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Take care.